Welcome back, everyone. June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. We are joined now by our good friend Tamara Atalla from Intermountain Health for the sponsored interview. And Tamara, there is a stigma for men when it comes to mental health, and we have seen these staggering numbers. Why is that?
Well, first and foremost, there's a long culture of men choosing not to engage, choosing to suffer when they're struggling with emotions. And they oftentimes convince themselves that I'm going to be resilient and strong by not sharing as opposed to actually engaging. And so that's a real challenge for men. And so it's important to think differently about that.
It is. And 6 million American men suffer from depression every year. 19 million American adults experience symptoms of anxiety each year. Once we are able to get men into talking to someone, are they vulnerable? Are they able to open up?
So the opportunity, I can even share this from a personal experience. I had an opportunity to talk to a friend of mine that I hadn't seen on a mountain bike ride, and we were having dialogue, and I just went on and talk about sort of my experiences and my challenges. And he turned to me and he said, "I thought we were just talking about your job." And what it turned out is, talking about your experiences engages others in sort of talking about it. So the more you dialogue, the more comfortable you feel about it, and the more willing you're recognizing that can actually help support you and actually increase your willingness to seek help when you need it.
And Tamara, this was a good friend of yours.
Yeah.
And to think that it almost takes so much for the other person to open up, even when you have this common thing, you're active. So no wonder it's a little bit more difficult to get your men in your life to come and talk to someone else. How would you approach that subject with, say, your spouse, your partner, a friend, a son?
Well, first, it's about naming kind of the challenges that you're experiencing, whether it's an emotion, whether you're having a difficulty in a certain circumstance with an individual or with a situation, and just having the opportunity to open up that conversation. Oftentimes modeling that, not only for other men, but also modeling that for young boys. Oftentimes they are socialized to not speak up because not speaking up suggests that you're tough and you're strong, and the fact of the matter is it's quite the opposite.
It's that vicious cycle. In fact, men are twice as likely to abuse alcohol, 3 times as likely to be diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder. And when we talk about it, say, to our children and model, what are we saying? Because just recently I had to ask my son, hey, would you like to talk to someone? Because I feel like I wasn't apt. I had reached a moment and a limit. So maybe just asking, would you like to talk to someone else? How do you approach it?
Well, first it's about acknowledging that everyone has struggles with different emotions and different challenges, and offering that in a way that's easy for them to engage, and supporting them in that work can be really just the initiation of doing that is a step in the right direction, and continuing to offer that. Maybe the first time there's not an interest in that, but continue to offering that opportunity can be really helpful. And remembering to continue to listen and to validate those experiences, because those experiences are true to them.
And sometimes you talk to someone and that person may not be the right fit too. Keep that in mind of how open you are and how comfortable you are with that person you speak with.
I'm so glad you brought that up. It's really important oftentimes to have the right fit and the right match. If we don't have those matches, sometimes that could be hard, and making that initial connection is really important. So for example, within Intermountain, we have a free Intermountain service navigation line that really helps us connect the right needs to the right service and the right provider anywhere in the community. And it's available 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So really making that connection is really important moving forward.
You just mentioned that free behavioral health navigation line. It is 833-442-2211, available every single day from 7 to 7. That is so important. And also we need to remind people that a lot of our therapies are covered by our insurance. So if you're worried about that aspect, that financial tie, it's usually covered by your insurance.
Absolutely. And also recognize if there's an urgent need, you can always call 988. It's a national number that helps, very similar to 911, that helps people connect when there's an emergent need. And so remembering that help is always available, we just need to reach out and get that.
Tamara, where are you seeing this? Is it teen boys? Is it adult male? Is it across the board?
So regrettably, men in general have a 4 times higher likelihood of dying by suicide. And so we see that some of the highest rates are in our elderly to our young adults, sadly, and middle-aged men really is challenged. So across the board, we really see men are oftentimes isolated. They don't feel connected. And really in contrast to many women who have connections with others, they're oftentimes in isolation, and they don't appreciate that, and they don't appreciate the challenge of what that creates for them.
And don't think that you are alone, because you are not. There are people waiting right now to help you out. And reach out today. Men and women, model that behavior for the younger generation. That number right now is 833-442-2211 if you are struggling or you know someone who is struggling. And you also just mentioned the crisis line 988 is always available 24/7. Tamara, thank you so much for your message this morning.
Thank you.